What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Elite Fantasy Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Denis. You can follow me at Fantasy Matt EFN. Joined together as usual with Pat Wendelken. You can follow him at City Stars 136. Dude, it's been a minute. It's been probably 2 weeks, dude. It's been.
Yes.
We've had a lot of trying to connect, not connecting. Try to get Fizzle on over the weekend. Didn't really happen. You had to work late. He had to work late. Then I got day drunk on Saturday, so that didn't happen. So Fizzle, if you're listening, dude, sorry about the Saturday. He was ready to go. You were ready to go. And I had a little bit too much to drink and didn't eat enough during the middle of the day. So, yep, there was that.
It happens. It's okay.
How was your Easter weekend, man?
Good, man. I got drunk Saturday night into Sunday, Easter morning.
Yeah. There's a, was that Instagram or Twitter? No, it was an Instagram photo of you shirtless. Cooking breakfast in shorts and your what was it? Sunglasses.
Dude, that was my
boxers. Does that just say boxers?
No, that's a suit. I have a suit color like that. That's suit pants. I went to church. I was coming back after.
Oh, got it. All right, cool. So yeah, you looked a little hungover as fuck. So Easter weekend, man.
Loved it.
Yeah. It's a good times, man. Weather here has been shit, but other than that, it was a good weekend. So weekends are always good, dude.
Gotta take it for what you can, bro. They go by quick.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got 3 weeks left, man. 3 weeks and I think 2 days until the NFL draft. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd. So we've got a couple of weeks, man. So, there's going to be a couple of dead air between now and then as far as like what's going on. News will pop up here and there. We'll try to jump on a couple times between now and the draft, but definitely, the draft is coming up, dude, and we're stoked about that. So 3 weeks away. Can't believe it. For a while back, it was like 3 months away. And now it's like the same month, just a couple of weeks down the road. It'll be here before you know it. So what we'll do today, Pat's going to take us to the news, man. We'll fly through really quickly any of the news and updates since last time we've been on, anything of true relevance. Then we're going to do dynasty trades, man. We'll go through some dynasty trades. There's been some now that, NFL draft's coming around. We've got more people logging on in dynasty leagues. They're checking, trying to drop players, add players, trying to make a little bit of moves before the NFL rookie drafts or each team's rookie draft. So that'll be kind of the landscape. Maybe a short pod, but wanted to jump on, at least get some content out there. And without further ado, man, Pat, take us away, man.
Start off with like the most it's relevant, but now it's passed a little bit. The new kickoff rule. Long story short, it's a revamped kickoff format. Prohibits the kicking team from moving until the ball contacts or it's fielded within the designated landing zone. So basically, you know what I mean? Like, no movement. It's just like a frozen play till they go. I guess because the kickoff has been so irrelevant lately, it's just a touchback or, things haven't really done anything and, preventing the injuries. I mean, it's kind of cool.
They did this in the XFL. That's kind of where they saw it. I think it was XFL or UFL last year.
I think it's XFL had it, and then
and that's when they saw it
together. So
yep, yeah. Now it's like merged, but before last year when they saw it, it was basically they're all in a line. The kicking and the receiving team, as far as the blockers, they cannot move like you said. They're like 5 yards apart too, so they're super close. And then once the receiver catches it, then that's when they can actually start to move. So it's supposed to avoid the high impact. Somebody running 40 yards down the field and colliding into somebody because obviously you're giving more time. So, and to your point, with Devin Hester just got into to the Hall of Fame. So hopefully to bring back the kicking rule and some of that excitement because, what was the Super Bowl had like 4 or 5 touchbacks in a row. It's kind of pointless to play. Yeah.
And then look, Cordell Patterson is also now with the Steelers. So why that brought him in. So hopefully that, gives a little another, dimension back to the game to make some excitement,
man. Because otherwise, you just take a piss, you grab a beer, you're like, whatever, it's kickoff. Like, I'm not going to watch this next 2 minutes. Like,
because you already know it's a touchback or they kneel or it doesn't go anywhere anyway. So I get next, but
hopefully
it works, bro.
Yeah, and it's only for this year. They're trying it out for a year to see how it goes, and then they'll figure out if they're going to implement it long term.
For sure. Matt and I were speaking about this. Also, kind of have some upcoming events, and the one that Matt's super pumped about. His team's involved. The Bears versus the Houston Texans Hall of Fame game, man. He will be attending for what I know.
Hell yeah. It's the week before Fantasy Expo for anybody that attends. Obviously, it's in Canton, Ohio, so it's in August. I don't have the date right in front of me, but it is the week before Fantasy Expo, the weekend right before that. So Chicago Bears are going to be there. So probably Caleb Williams, and you got Houston, Texas, CJ Stroud. Man. So that'll be a good matchup. It'll be who the Bears potentially could have drafted last year and who they will draft this year, regardless of if it's Caleb or not. Obviously,
super cool, man.
Caleb. Yeah, it'll be good, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, and just so you know, we will be attending. I booked my flight, and Matt's working on it.
Fantasy Expo is what he's referring to, not Hall of Fame game. Fantasy Expo.
Well, Matt will be there all week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway. I was kind of looking, and it's like if we end up staying, we talked about staying at a hotel. Last year, I stayed at the shit school. Pat and I were kind of talking. Maybe want to do something a little bit kind of offsite and maybe do a hotel. So we're kind of working through that. But yeah, if it's a hotel, I don't know if I'll go for the whole week. I might just go for the weekend and come back. We'll see.
Cool. We'll still be in attendance in the area. Next up, not good news. Sucks, bro. Rasheed Rice. Dude, car crash, man. Like, the video is ridiculous. Matt and I were actually just talking about before we jumped on. Like, just walking away, evading a scene of an accident, just casually walking away, being filmed. You leave the cars there. I mean, like, on the middle of a highway.
It's in your name. It's not like you're like, you just use a pseudonym and they can't figure out who it is. Like, your car is registered in your name, dude, and you just like leave it. Like,
and you see him walking away, literally right there. I mean, it was just very awkward. It made no sense whatsoever, the whole situation.
For anybody who hasn't seen the actual video, so like on X, NFL notifications, who sometimes does like random fake shit, but this is actually a recorded video of a guy who was either part of the accident or stopped because of the accident, was recording the 4 occupants leaving, was saying like, oh, you guys are just going to walk away, and they just kept walking and even like acknowledge him. Left the car behind, and then there's a still shot of all 4 of them too from the front, so you can clearly see who's part of that party that walked away. So that'd be interesting,
dude. You go from a Super Bowl champ to like in prison the way it's gonna go. I mean, they have no tolerance anymore for that shit. So
we talked about this too. Like, and I mean, I don't understand the mindset. I guess like you spend your whole entire life, your mission, your whole entire life is to get the NFL. Then you've got like somebody like Rasheed Rice, who is not. A year and a half ago, he was not on most NFL radars. He might have been like a 4th or 5th rounder potentially. Skyrockets his last season at where did he go? SMU. So skyrockets his last year in SMU. So that's why he was down in Dallas. That's where he grew up. Went to SMU for 4 years. His last year skyrocketed, became a 2nd-round pick, got drafted by the best team in the NFL, wins the Super Bowl, has a ring, and then does this dumb shit. You're just like, and his career could, I mean, I doubt it will be over, but
it just makes no sense. I mean, the whole thing is like,
it's just like, talk about
something's up.
You worked that hard and you just like lit your career on fire regardless. I mean,
you come off a Super Bowl win. Dude, it's not even like a high point. Like, your highest point as an NFL player is to be a Super Bowl champ, clearly. And then you're going to do that?
From what I heard, I haven't seen, I can't remember where I read this or heard of it, but they basically said somebody had said that there was guns in the car, and that might have been the reason why they were leaving, because they weren't registered. But still,
well, no excuse, man. At that point in time, dude, they see you leaving. They saw you lift the car. I mean, come on, man. Whatever. Yeah.
So whatever.
Horrible news. It is what it is.
Luckily, we'll just pause 1 second. Luckily, nobody was injured. I mean, it could have been. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, you had the Henry Ruggs incident that happened. Obviously, he's going 140 miles an hour. You had what happened last year with what's his name, the defensive tackle that the Philadelphia Eagles
I know drafted. You're talking about too. I forgot.
So he had the issue when he was at Georgia, where he was racing a buddy. 3 cars were racing, 2 cars one car crashed and killed 2 occupants. So I mean, there's a lot of evidence that like this is a dumbass thing. Luckily, in this particular incident, nobody was majorly injured. There's 4 people who went to the hospital, but they all were minor. So knock on wood for that. Thank God for that, man.
Yeah, bro. But sucks, bro. It is what it is. People want to throw away their career. Go ahead.
Good luck, dude.
So I mean, that's main topics of the news. Realistically, just a little switch and transition. Matt, this has been on my mind, and it's been all over the radio. I'm sure it's by you, Matt. What team is trading up in the draft? Let's be real. Like, this is a big topic.
Oh, I mean, there's been a lot.
There's like
I mean,
a handful of solid teams.
Yeah, so you got the Vikings.
They're like the main group, yes.
Yeah, you got the Vikings, who's already traded to get additional first-round draft picks. So they've got, I think, pick 11 and pick 23, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Or 12 and 23. Mm-hmm. You've got Vegas, who's projected. There's a couple of mocks that I've seen where Vegas trades up ahead of Minneapolis, or Minnesota, I guess. Those are the 2 that kind of jump out the most. And there's a lot of talk that like potentially New England, you could have the LA Chargers trade back instead of taking. So there's a couple of places where teams could easily draft up. I mean, there's also talk too, dude, of there could be 5 quarterbacks going in the top 10 or top 8.
Yes, I heard that too.
I mean, it could be insane, dude. There could be a lot of movement on draft day or right before draft day. So the buzz for a lot of the rookie quarterbacks is definitely skyrocketing. So it'd be interesting, man. What else did I miss one? What else did I miss?
Not really. I mean, like I've heard, Chicago actually going down a spot and Washington get the first spot. I've heard there's a lot of different rumors. I mean,
I could see if there's an elite wide receiver. So I've also heard chatter that, with Marvin Harrison Jr. not doing anything and Malik Neighbors doing insane workout when he was at Texas and like his speed and everything, that there's chatter that Marvin Harrison Jr. could actually fall back a couple of spots and maybe Malik could be the first wide receiver drafted. So you could potentially see Marvin Harrison Jr. or Romeo Dobbs. Washington wide receiver being.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
because I'm looking at this show sheet. You could see him potentially Roma Dunze being left, and if Chicago's there at 9, I do not see them passing on either. Even if Malik Neighbors is there, Roma Dunze or Marvin Harrison, one of those 3 wide receivers are there. I think they're going to take the draft pick. They're going to draft. That makes sense. Move on.
For sure.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on, dude. It's been a wild month so far.
Keeps it. This is what the NFL wants: relevancy all year round, no matter what they want.
Yeah, except for the Rashee Rice shit, they don't want that.
Yeah, well, the negative, but it's funny. Every year you're gonna get a stupid story. It's crazy. Every year.
Well, this is what they say.
Doesn't learn.
They say like every NFL team like tells, especially the rookies after the first year, like, hey, this is your first offseason in the NFL. Don't do anything fucking stupid. Here's numbers if you're too drunk to drive. Like they literally go through like line by line, like don't do this, don't do that. Like have a number to call if you need somebody or whatever. And people still do dumb shit. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it is what it is. On another topic, not in dumb shit, but good shit, but still puzzling sometimes for some of these people. I think a couple leftover free agents. I mean, I think before the draft you might see something depending on where people pick and backups. I mean, and then eventually injuries and everything else, plus camp.
Injuries are gonna be key. Or if somebody doesn't get like the quarterback that they want, then maybe an option here or running back, whatever. So
I'm gonna give you just a brief rundown of what's left that I think is truly relevant. First quarterback and the really only quarterback left is Ryan Tannehill, which I don't even think he definitely deserves to be on a team. My opinion, for sure. I'm really confused why, but
I'm with you on that. Honestly, like there was a couple of teams before we got this far, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I'm like, dude, take Tannehill. Like at this point, like he's going to be cheap because nobody else wants him. So you've got no competition. Just grab him.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's holding out. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he feels like he's waiting for a better offer. To your point, like maybe he's waiting for an injury and he feels like he can be a starter. So I don't know.
You never know.
But, that's odd. That was odd.
I mean, that's the really one and only anyway. Tannehill, the only real relevant running back I think that's like decent. J.K. Dobbins, another one that's going to be he'll be filling in. There's always someone going down.
Injuries though, he's so in
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
so Matt, out of these 4 receivers that I think are the most relevant, which one goes first in agency?
I'm surprised Tyler Boyd. So you read off the list. Read off the list. Sorry,
I put it really just OBJ. Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup, and Hunter Renfrow, or like the 4 I picked I thought are the most relevant and hold the most value out of what's left.
Yeah, to me it's Tyler Boyd.
For sure.
It should be the first one off. I could see OBJ waiting for the right, it could be one of those things again where he waits to see like, all right, I want to go to a contender, get a ring. Hunter Renfrow and Gallup, I could see them as if there's an injury getting a call. But Boyd surprises me. Honestly, that surprises me. I'm surprised he's not picked up by a team by now.
Yeah. And then the one tight end. This dude, I mean, I know he's a little older now. I'm pretty sure. I don't know his age, to be honest with you. Logan Thomas. Dude, he still plays pretty solid, man. Like, I think he's a great player.
He's got injuries, though, too. Just like, I mean, it's the same thing with...
But a fill-in, he's nice, though, to throw on a team. You can always use an extra tight end here.
And this isn't a good tight end class. That's also the part of it, too. So it's one of those things where the tight end class, there's only a few tight ends, like probably 3 or 4 that are worth even drafting in this class. There'll probably be a lot of NDFAs. So, yeah.
He'll be on a team. I think most of those guys we just looked at and we spoke about just now will definitely be on some team at some point in time. Whether it's injury, pickup, quick agents, or who knows, some kind of free agency move, but I think so. All right, Matt, Let's go. Let's get some trade talk.
All right, man. Let's do some trade talks. We're like 15 minutes in, man. So good timing. So we're going to swap over, dude. All right. So I'll set it up again. We'll kind of go back and forth. I'll kind of rattle off what the league is, give you the descriptions, kind of like the settings for that specific league. Then we'll go through the trade and kind of we'll have our own opinion. Sometimes it may not be a win or lose. It's just a matter of like what side we prefer. And again, a lot of times it kind of depends on team makeup, which we don't talk about a lot here. But it's team structure. It's, how are you structuring your team? What do you need to kind of like compete? Or are you pushing it back? Which a lot of that stuff we don't necessarily know, or we're not going to talk about thoroughly in here. So first league, there's three trades in this first league. It's 50 Degenerates and Debauchery. It's a 12-team PPR Superflex set lineup. So it's not a best ball. It is you set your lineup. And you have to start 12. So in the first trade, you got Joe Sung 81 traded with Mango Boom. So pretty straight up trade. He traded Jake Ferguson, or I should say received Jake Ferguson for a 2025 first round pick. This is not a tight end premium league that I remember. Another one that we're in, there is a little bit of tight end premium bump, but this one does not have any. So what would you prefer?
Give me the pick.
Yeah, same.
Gotta take the first, bro. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, especially even if it's a 2025, Ferguson, it's Dallas offense. Obviously, they've got a good offense as long as they continue what they were doing last year. But still, for first round pick, I mean, you look at some of the first round picks that are coming out of this class this year. Top end wide receivers, could have a high end quarterback. Next year's class is not going to be as strong or as deep necessarily, at least not as right now. But first round pick, it's worth the risk. I would take the first. Yeah, for sure.
First for sure, dude.
For sure.
Look who's involved in the next one, huh?
Yes, sir. So I'll get your take first. So same league. So 50 Degenerates and Debauchery, 12-team PPR Superflex. Set your lineup, and it is start 12. So this involves me. I'm Dynasty MD 6129 for anybody that's on Sleeper. If you want to invite me to a league or invite me and Pat to leagues, let us know, or join our league. We're going to be setting one up this next week. So I traded with Joe Sung 81. I received on my end Raheem Mostert and a 2025 second, and it is Joe's second. And in turn, I gave up Joe Mixon. This was before, if I remember correctly, Mixon had actually signed with Houston, even though it calls it out here. I can't remember if it was right before. I think it was like right around the same time that he signed with Houston. Okay. So your thought? You go first.
Honestly, it's not that far off. I really like it. Mostert just also got an extension. I love the way he plays. He fits in nice, so that worked out well. This
is definitely before the extension.
I was going to say, definitely. That was the most recent point. Out of all these points, Mostert's the most recent news for him. Mixon looks great in Houston. I think he's going to do well with that offense. It's going to be a lot of action, I say. Plus, you get the extra little 25 second.
The kicker. The kicker.
Yeah, that's probably what gives you that little extra little salt on top, little extra. So I like your point. I don't think it's far off though. I think it's a pretty solid trade for both of you, to be honest with you, depending on what you need. Also, he might look at Mixon differently, than you do, and then Mostert's good. I think there's a good value on both sides, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Mostert's good. I mean, the challenge with Mostert is injury, right? So, he's been injury prone throughout his career. Last year, he was pretty solid throughout the whole entire year, so got fortunate there. For me, it was about getting the kicker, getting a 25 second, and just getting that extra draft pick. Joe's usually a good player, so it's like no guarantee where it's going to fall, but probably mid is what I would assume at this point, mid to late. So, but yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking initially. Taking the risk on Mostert for the extra draft pick, and then give him Mixon and let him kind of ride with Mixon was my thought. I agree with you. I don't think it's like kind of either team won or lost. I think both benefited. I think it's a pretty balanced trade.
I think it's a solid trade for both of you. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and if Mostert gets hurt, like Joe Mixon, I'm going to be like, oh shit, that sucks. But I hope that I can at least get another year out of Mostert. So next year I could use Mostert plus a second and whatever I draft together. Hopefully they'll both be starters and then go from there. So yeah,
I love it.
Pretty straight up, man. This next one's going to be a little more complicated, dude. A little bit more
for sure.
A little bit more going on with your boy, dude. Yeah, your best friend is part of this trade. Yes, sir. Right behind you. He's hanging out, looking over your shoulder. I wonder what his thought on this trade is going to be. So, same league, 50 Degenerates and Debauchery, 12-team PPR Superflex. Set your lineup. start 12. So you got Azar EG trades with Sheriff Shane. So Azar gets Matt Stafford, James Cook, and Jackson Smith-Njigba, and from Seattle. And in return, so basically gets a quarterback, a running back. So starting quarterback, starting running back, and wide receiver 3. Not really starters. That's probably like wide receiver 3 or 2. In return, he gives up JAMAAR Chase, man. Dude, number 2, in a lot of people's opinion, the number 2, potentially number 1 wide receiver in Dynasty. So at least top 3. I mean, you could probably argue, a couple of different ways, but yeah, at least top 3. So thoughts?
Dude, Chase got such value, man. Like, Stafford's an aging quarterback. All right, gone. Cook had a solid year in Buffalo with all the changes in coaching over there in Buffalo. Worked out well. All right,
but he's a running back.
Yeah, it's like running back, and JSN is he's there, but nothing. He's not Chase either. I think Chase can outperform all of them anyway. You know what I mean? So, I mean being biased and the orange jersey behind me clearly, but I still would take Chase though. If you offer me this like that, sure, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you break it down like that, like again, JAMAAR Chase, wide receiver 3 or 2 or 1. I mean, top 3 wide receiver, right? I mean, you can kind of argue if you wanted to argue a little bit here and there, but yeah, I mean, Stafford, I think you broke it down perfectly. Stafford's a quarterback, which is very valuable, especially in Superflex, but aging, has injury concerns. How much longer is he going to be playing for? He could be injured again, like you just don't know. James Cook, running back for me, like again, it depends on the buildup of the team. Azar, if you're trying to go for the championship this year, it might be worth it if he has a lot of holes. I think where he could have got probably more would have been, I would have wanted a higher wide receiver. So instead of Smith-Njigba, who could be a wide receiver 2 in that offense, but currently he's a wide receiver 3 in that offense. And that offense wasn't that great last year. It had up and downs, like had some good moments, but all in all, and he actually, if you listen to him during some interviews during, I think it was Super Bowl weekend, he was basically kind of talking shit about the old OC that was there, that is now the Bears OC, and he's talking about like how he basically didn't get the ball and whatever. So he was obviously frustrated about his role in the offense. I think if you were to give it a little more kicker in the wide receiver spot, I would have taken the Azar side for a win now approach. But it really, truly, in my opinion, has to be win now for this to be even something I would even entertain. But I agree with you. Like if I were to look at this, in a vacuum, JAMAAR Chase all day. I mean, I feel like you kind of. For the pieces that you gave up, like JAMAAR Chase, it's like if that's what it takes to get JAMAAR Chase, like props to you, man. As they're not saying it's a bad trade, like there's obviously a reason. Everybody's got a reason for why they're doing their trades, and that's what's good about Dynasty and in fantasy football is like everybody kind of has their own angle and their own viewpoint. But I think I would have given up a little bit more, or wanted a little bit more to give up Chase, I should say. So, my personal opinion. So yeah, dude, we're so far like simpatico, which is weird because a lot of times we kind of see a little bit different.
For sure. So we got, was this 50 flex your meat?
Yeah, 12, so 50 flex your meat.
Team. I got you, Matt. 12 team PPR.
Give me a water break.
Ooh. Yeah, I know. Say your lineups. Start 12. Not bad, dude. What we got? King Perez.
K Kings for president. Trades with Thunder down under
72.
Yeah, 72. So you've got Luke Musgrave and Marvin Mims on one side. For K Kings for Prez. And then on the flip side, he gave up Jahan Dotson and Tajay Spears. So you basically have... Go ahead. I'll let you break it down.
It's not a sexy trade. It's just a trade, I guess, depending what he needs. Is this tight end premium by any chance on this thing?
I didn't write it down, so I'm thinking it's not. But
not. So if you say no, then I'm going to say let's go with no.
Oh, no, this one actually was, because this is the one where... The dude like stacked all the tight ends.
Oh, okay. So that gives it a little more. I can see something. Hold
on, I'm gonna.
No, man. That does play a role now. You have to.
No, I'm looking. I should have read. I thought I wrote it down. It was my bad. We were trying to get on.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Yeah. So tight end receiving bonus is +1. So it's a +1 tight end premium bonus. So instead of getting 1 point for a reception, you get 2 points for tight ends.
So I got an update for you on that. Rice incident. I just came in. Rasheed Rice was leasing the Lamborghini involved in the Dallas crash. An attorney for the company that owns the vehicle said Tuesday. So there you go.
Still stupid.
Yeah, that's big.
Also, a correction too on the last ones that we did. It was a half a point increase for tight end. So it was tight end premium, but only half a point. This one's a full point. So it's a little more juiced on this one.
I'll go with you on this. I'm going to go with Mr. Thunder. I like his aspect on this. Not huge on Dotson, but he's still nice. And I like Spears, dude. I like now with Henry gone, I think like he's going to have way more, ceiling just rose that much more. He can just take off. Mims, I'm not impressed with. I don't like Denver at all. I have no idea what's going on with Denver. Musgrave's cool with the premium, and I think Jordan Love has a nice connection with him. But I'm going to go with Thunder down under on this.
Well, the one thing that I do want to highlight though too is that Tony Pollard did sign with Tennessee. So even though he doesn't have King Henry there, he has Tony Pollard there. So he still has a little bit of competition.
But not as big as what he had. Like the King is gone.
Oh, the King took all of the meat last time. It was basically left scraps. Tajay Spears' second year. I think honestly, like in all honesty, I feel like this is kind of like Marvin Mims has basically been nothing so far. Yep. Luke Musgrave has obviously been something within the Green Bay offense, but they've got two tight ends there, so it's kind of like pick your poison. Jahan Dotson, what I do love about the Jahan Dotson, so on what I personally lean towards the Thunder down under side, and here's why. It's upside. In my opinion, it's pure upside. So Jahan Dotson came in the league. He had half a good season where he was like, wow, this guy's going to be amazing. He hasn't a quarterback worth of shit. They're the second team to draft behind the Chicago Bears, so they're definitely going to go after quarterback. He could become relevant again this year, depending on what the quarterback is, how he fits with the offense, what that looks like. Obviously, they've got a whole new offensive scheme. They've got a whole new coaching staff and everything there. So, in my opinion, you've got upside there. And then you've got Tajay Spears, like you said, from a running back perspective. Tony Pollard did not look amazing last year, so it could be a 50-50 split here. Tajay, after a year of being a rookie, maybe he got his legs wet. Maybe this year he kind of like makes that next step and kind of steps it up. I said there's more reward on the Dotson Spears side than there really is on the Musgrave and Mims side.
For sure.
So I would say kind of like risk reward. I'd say Thunder down under, in my opinion. That's where I lean.
Bro, we're on a roll tonight, bro. We should put it on lottery the way we're going tonight.
I don't know. Oh yeah, speaking of, damn dude, did you even buy any lotto tickets yesterday?
No, I didn't, bro.
I bought $10 worth, and I did not win anything. I don't think. I haven't checked, but no, there's no winners. So now it's gonna be over 1.5 billion. I think it's nuts, dude.
Stupid. Nuts. Next trade, bro. I kind of like this. We were actually talking about this briefly too. Caught my eye. K King for Prez trades with JT 423, DeAndre Swift for Joe Mixon, and Matt. I don't know, man. Like I told you before, it's pretty solid. Like I mean, like you could see, I know you like the Swift. We're talking a little Swift action going on there, but for me on this, just I'll let you take the stage. I think it's pretty solid for both, man. I really don't have true, sway.
I think this is like we talked about this before jumping on the show and hitting record. This is one of those trades where it's like I usually don't like the 1-for-1s because I think it's hard to really truly pick a side because you're basically just scrapping one for another and it becomes more of a preference, which is probably what this trade is. It's obviously preference, and K Kings must prefer Swift. Like when we were talking beforehand, I could see Swift with the rookie quarterback maybe having a little more juice because like is he going to be the valve? He's going to be like the scat back that's going to be out of the backfield that whenever Caleb Williams gets into trouble, he's just going to dump it down to Swift, who's obviously speedy and has that ability to break some moves and juke. Joe Mixon's a little bit older. Swift, he kind of have going back to injuries, not to say players are injury prone, but he's only had one season where he's not had a major injury where it's kept him out multiple weeks, which is last season, which he was in Philadelphia. And you got Mixon, who's on Houston, and CJ Stroud looked amazing, so it's like, to your point, it is pick your poison. It's kind of like, who do you think is going to do better? I think Mixon's definitely going to be more of the bell cow in that offense, 100%.
For sure.
Swift has other people he's got Khalil Herbert in the back, Roshan Johnson. So there's risk that like it may not be Swift's backfield or, they may only use them in a limited facet. So it is pick your poison. I could see value in both. That's kind of a wash to me.
Love it.
Pick who you like and move on.
Amen.
Speaking of, I got to set this one up because this one is in a different league. So this one is...
You got a Degenerate Dynasty League.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it off, man. You beat me to it.
12-team PPR. What's SF? Standard? What is it? SF?
Superflex.
Superflex, my bad. IDP, start 12. Best ball plays a role. We got Trey B23. with our boy Ashlyn Bailey. Here we go.
Shout out to Ash. I gotta text Ash. We gotta have him on again. We had him on way back when, dude.
Good dude.
We gotta have him on again. He's been doing a lot of trades, but yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. What do you think, man? Ash receives.
Good.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
Read it off this is gonna be audio too. You gotta read it off. You
can't okay. Sorry about that.
This is why I'm afraid giving you the training wheels because
yeah, bro.
You leave stuff out.
I'm still in training wheels. That's okay.
You are.
Back and forth. 2025 second round pick is Trey Bees and Jay. Who is it? Sorry, my screen's actually not even.
Jalen McLaughlin. It's McLaughlin running back.
Oh, okay.
Denver running back McLaughlin.
Sorry about that.
Let me read this off. You've been choppy, so I'll read this off. Trey B, 23, receives 2025 second, which is Ashlyn's. In return, Ashlyn traded and received. Well, he traded his second round in 2025 to receive Jalen McLaughlin, running back for Denver. So obviously taking a flyer on a running back and kicking out draft pick to the 2025 second class.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm back.
I'll read the next one. I'm just gonna keep reading. Yeah. I'll be the reader.
Go for it. Yeah. I really don't care about this pick. This is not like I don't really care about this trade, to be honest with you. Not really anything.
You gotta give some type of thoughts, advice, something.
I'll give Ash benefit. I mean, it's only 25 second. And he scoops up a running back when Ash is pretty intelligent when it comes to what he looks for and what he can use to fill in some gaps and holes. So I'm gonna give Ashlyn the benefit for only having to give up a second round 25. So there you go.
All right. Yeah, I would like the running back side. I agree with you. It's kind of like a risk, and he could always get the 25 second back. So I mean, McLaughlin could be decent running back in in this league. Ash is kind of top on the top side of it as far as the managers. So in the position. So definitely like that part of it. So Ashlyn, it is.
Yeah, for sure. Ash wins again.
All right. So I'm gonna key this one up. Don't steal my thunder.
Yeah, boy.
All right, this is our league, Elite Fantasy Nation, 12-team PPR. It is a slight 10 premium, super flex. It is start 10 and best ball. So again, best ball kind of comes into play here. We have two trades here. One of them will be yours.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be next. Ice and Stinkers receives Johnny Smith and Rondell Moore. In return, he sends to our boy Jiggity James, Darnell Washington, and Demario Douglas. So tight end swap and wide receiver swap. Thoughts?
I think Stinkers wins it. Sorry, brother.
I agree with you.
Douglas is I'm not a fan of. I don't like anyone really in Pitt besides in my stripes behind me, but I'm not really Washington's okay. I think John has got the great has a better upside, better quarterback going in, and Moore comes to it with another nice new quarterback addition with your boy Kirk Cochain. So for sure, Stinkers, bro, wins this one.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you on this. Johnny Smith has been up and down in his career, but in that offense, Miami, it's definitely more potent. Darnell Washington is honestly, I know James likes to do take risks and flyers. Darnell came into the league last year. He's a massive, massive human being, but they projected him honestly when he was drafted to the Pittsburgh as being a blocking tight end and not really a receiving tight end. Unless that role changes, he's not going to score you that many points. And then you've kind of articulated very well. So you got Rondell Moore going to Atlanta. He's got Kirk Cousins throwing in the ball, dude. Plus you got Kyle Pitts and Drake London taking attention away from him. He should get a lot of coverage, single one-on-one. He's fast enough where he should be able to get past them as long as it is have injuries or whatever. And then same with Douglas. I put Rondell Moore over Douglas, so I agree. I send Stinkers, man. I gotta give it to you. Sorry, James. James may not be on. James may never come back on.
He's gonna boycott our podcast.
Fuck it, he knows, man. Everybody's got their own opinion. Him and I kind of have different viewpoints, and I'm sure when he comes on, I'm sure he'll watch this. I'll tell him to watch it. And when he comes on, I want to get his opinion. I want to get his viewpoint on our thoughts on the trade, and he can give his perspective on why he made that trade.
Go ahead, Matt. Take this one away.
All right, man. So this is the same league, Elite Fantasy Nation. This is our first league that we started. We'll be starting Elite Fantasy Nation 2 pretty soon. So anybody that wants to get in a startup, let us know. drop a like and subscribe, and in the comments say, hey, drop me in your league. Here's my sleeper, handle, and we'll get you in. So obviously 10 spots. Me and Pat are in. There's 10 spots available. So let us know. Again, Elite Fantasy Nation, 12 team PPR tight end premium, slight tight end premium, super flex. There are start 10, and it is best ball. City Stars 1023 trades with Big Willie P style. What? And he receives your boy Pat. City Stars 1023 receives the 107 in this year's draft, and in return gives up D Hop and DeAndre Swift or Devonta Smith.
No, Devonta.
Yeah, I don't want to say DeAndre. So thoughts before I go into it. Devonta Smith is obviously the big player on here in the 107. That's kind of like DeAndre. We'll see how kind of where his future holds. Your thoughts. You're kind of, as I'm reading it off, you're like have a grin of struggling as I'm reading it off. Like, so what? I feel like you're getting you're like second guessing.
It depends what. Look, I will explain to a lot of people who don't understand. This was my first best ball league, so how I drafted was different. I came into it different, so I'm kind of like evolving. I went all in last year. Fine. I have no picks this year, so I wanted to make something relevant. I can use a nice healthy quarterback. Hopefully something drops to me. That's kind of like my theme. If not, I'm going to end up with a sick wide receiver.
Quarterback. So you're going for quarterback. Like that's your ideal.
100%.
Has to be quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. I would love a quarterback. I mean, that's kind of what I'm at. I mean, there's going to be wide receivers there, and I potentially have the top tight end also there. So that's kind of where I'm at. But like I said, dude, Smith is awesome. Devonta didn't have the best year last year, but he's super high upside, young.
He was wide receiver 17 last year. I looked it up. Like
AJ, AJ took the show clearly. You know what I mean? He was killing it last year with them. So I don't know, man. And then Hopkins did well last year. He had some really good upside games. To be honest with you, wasn't as bad as you think. We'll see. Risk reward, bro. No biscuit. Okay. Can't risk it, no biscuit, baby. So what do you think, Matt? Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of switched my thought. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, I know he's had his up and down and he had a couple of good games. It is best ball. So DeAndre does count because he could hit your lineup on a random week or two.
Yes, he does.
So you're trading two pieces for one. The one, in my opinion, has to be a quarterback in order for it to really be like not a win, but in order for it to really be worth the risk, I guess you could say, because we all talk about wide receivers and like how elite wide receivers are, and there's 3 of them that are elite, and there's a couple of after that the next tier, that could be really, really, really good, wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, but you already had a wide receiver 2 and you traded them plus another pick,
correct,
to get the 107. So like that's kind of how I look at it. Like you had a high end wide receiver 2, and Hopkins just call him a wide receiver 3 or 4. That you're now if you don't get a quarterback, you're hoping that you get a wide receiver 2. A high-end wide receiver 2 back in return. Now, you could get a wide receiver 1, but you're hoping you get a wide receiver 2. So that's kind of when we were texting back and forth and briefly talked on the phone. I was like, to me, it's like a wash, but you're risking it by throwing an additional pick in there, meaning DeAndre Hopkins, an additional piece.
Correct.
Sorry, a pick is not correct. So you're throwing an additional piece that, if you'd kept him, could also hit your lineup for the hope of getting a quarterback or what could be a very, very high-end wide receiver 2 and maybe a low-end wide receiver 1. I mean, where you're positioned at a 107, I think you're good. If it was a 109, I would have definitely been like, no, like that was not what I would personally would have done. I mean, everybody does dynasties and you do your thing the way that you want to. So again, kind of going back to, I don't think there's like wrong or right reason. You wanted to play in the rookie draft, and that's what your thought was. And you're like, I would need picks. My thought was like, you already had a guy who was a wide receiver high end too. So like, I don't think you had to take that risk, but that's what you wanted to do. And that's what you kind of, you want to set out the whole rookie draft this year, right? So you want to get involved, and that's what you're
all
doing.
I had was a 3rd round pick, which I'm not getting a quarterback. That's literally gonna be anything of crazy. So I'm hoping something just drops. I mean, this is just, whoever's ahead of me, including yourself and whatever else, people are thinking and what they really need to complete it. And that's it.
Okay. So let's talk it out, right? So you got Caleb Williams. We're just gonna go through quarterbacks first. Caleb Williams. We've got Drake May, Jaden Daniels. JJ McCarthy is now listed as being high end. We just talked about that, potentially either Vegas or Minnesota trading for him. So that's 4. We'll leave, you could say Bo Nix is one that kind of is popping up again. Penix is also popping up again at being a top,
I saw him.
being the 5th wide quarterback. within the top 10 or top 12 picks. So we'll just say 4 for now, because those are the 4 guaranteed that we've are legitimately.
So you said Caleb, Jalen Daniels,
Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, JJ McCarthy.
Okay, fine.
So those are 4, right? Then on wide receiver side, you've obviously got Marvin Harrison Jr.
Correct.
You got Malik Neighbors, and then you've got Rome Odunze. So the 4 and 3 is 7. So you're at least going to get, even if you don't get, you theoretically could get a Penix or Bo Nix if they get drafted higher. That could be the 5th quarterback, which I would push, maybe a wide receiver back farther for you. Or you could get an elite wide receiver. So, I mean, like when you count it out and you really like look at like what the prospects are going at, 107
could be a wash.
It could be a wash. Or you could get a low-end wide receiver 1 and you paid your bump up was a DeAndre Hopkins to go from wide receiver 2, mid wide receiver 2, or high wide receiver 2 to a low-end wide receiver 1. And you paid Hopkins to do that, and that could be worth it.
Or get a sick-ass tight end named Brock Bowers if he doesn't go either. I mean, just saying, like, he's there. Dude, he's a beast, man. I've thought about it. No, he's a
beast, but it depends on where he gets drafted of how he's going to be utilized, right? So
that depends on the team for sure. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think if it was 108, 109, I'd be like, dude, 109 for sure. I'd have been out. I would have been like, no way, that's not, you not lost, but like you gave up too much for that 109 is what I would have told you. But at 107, it's the roll of the dice. And again, there's at least, out of what we just named, you're at least going to get a high-end top 3 wide receiver in the rookie class, or are you going to get a quarterback top 4 in this rookie class, if that makes sense?
No, I agree 1,000%.
So minimum, you're going to get one of those. So I think if that being
determined
what it is, and it gives you the action. You wanted to get back into it. You wanted the action in the rookie picks. So
look, I got a 1st and a 3rd now this year, so I have something to go with.
Yeah. So
and a shitload of picks next year, boy.
And dude, honestly, when you're watching the rookie or the NFL draft, you got to hope for like some quarterbacks to be drafted in the 1st round even more, because then that makes your pick valuable. So then you could even theoretically maybe trade down from the 107 to the 108 or 109, pick up like a multiple pick, get like a 2nd plus that 109. If somebody needs a quarterback in their left,
true,
and you could be like, hey, take the quarterback, I'll drop back, I'll get a high-end wide receiver, one of the top 3 wide receivers, plus I'll get a 2nd round pick. I mean, you could play it that game.
I can't tell you everything, Matt. You have to watch the show.
All right. Well, we're going to round it out with this one, man. So this is in the shit action. So this is South Harmon Institute of Technology. I got to talk slower sometimes. So this is in auction 6. So this is a shit league. So again, this is Mike and Adam, South Harmon boys. This is one of the auction leagues that I joined last year. So South Harmon Institute of Technology auction league 6, 12-team PPR. It is a tight end premium super flex, start 12, and it is best ball. So kind of just a pick swap here. So I threw this up here because I kind of just wanted to figure out what people would want to do and what they'd be willing to give up. I'll let you know because it's not on the screen.
Yeah, I was just going to ask it.
Alex FS receives the 105 in the 2024 rookie draft this year, and a 2024 204. So the 105 and 204 of this year's rookie draft. In return, he gave Shane Joe the 103 in this year's rookie draft.
Okay.
So thoughts there. So basically, he went from the 103. So Alex gave up the 103. Alex FS gave up his 103. In return, Shane Joe gave him the 105 and the 204.
I don't know what he needs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, depending on it. I mean, there's a lot of juice there regardless. I guess we
just called out a whole bunch. This is going to be a lot of juice at the 105.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a lot of juice here. I mean, he jumped up for what, maybe the first wideout or one of the top 3 quarterbacks immediately. I mean, I'm cool with taking the first and the extra second, to be honest with you, at that point. I mean, it's really not that far off.
Yeah, no,
really. I mean, you know,
I agree. I mean,
we're at the 107 2 minutes ago. Now we jumped up 2 more. You're like, not that bad, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of agree. Like that, the 105. There's still going to be. We just listed off 4 quarterbacks. There's 3 elite wide receivers that are, you know, high end elite. They're the 1A, 1B, 1C of this draft, and that's the 107. So
yeah. And you're at 105, so you're definitely in the meat. Like deep cut right there. So you're fine.
Yeah, so Shane must have like a particular. I'm thinking it's a particular quarterback that he's got in mind, where he's like,
and hopefully it falls to him.
Yeah, like either maybe he wants Jaden Daniels or like somebody who's like he's really really high on and does not want to take the risk that he's not going to be there at 105, and he's like hell bent on like that particular quarterback, or he wants Marvin Harrison Jr. and he thinks he won't fall past the 103. Like it could be one of those things too, but
yeah, for sure.
To pay that 204, I mean, if that's what you're willing to give up to jump up again, this is best ball too, so the 204 could still be a valuable asset that could still hit your lineup, and in best ball, it's like a 2-for-1. I've done a bunch of rookie mock drafts, and all the way through the second round, even in the third round, you can get people who could hit your lineup this year. So
for sure. So let me ask you this: I would like Shane Joe to get on this and reply back. I would love to see him. I want to know. I'm more curious now than ever why he did what he did.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to tell us exactly. I won't blow it out because blew his pick out. But like off the scenes, I would love to understand this. Really, I would.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say he could drop a comment, but he's in one. Obviously, I'm in this league, so he can drop me a ping. So if you're listening, Shane Joe, I'll every time that I drop it in each league, I kind of put the guys who are involved in the trade. So Shane Joe, if you listen to this, man, and you kind of want to drop to me, just do a little DM, direct message, and kind of let me know so we can kind of off the side. Obviously, I'm also in this league too, so he may not want to tell me because I'm in this league, but we'll see.
Are you ahead of him?
No. I'm like with the 110, and actually, I don't have a pick in the first round.
So you're safe.
I tried to do what you did. Yeah, man, I tried to do what you did, man. I tried to like push chips all in. I started out really good at the beginning of the year, and there's a couple of pieces that I just felt like I needed. So I ended up like kind of pushing all in and ended up like falling pretty far short. Actually, I finished. So my pick is at the 108, but actually I traded my pick. So now Mike has it, McNutted has it. So, so I don't really have a pick until the second round, and the 208 is the first pick that I get.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, well, listen, whatever he's doing, whatever Shane,
would love to know.
Shane Joe's doing.
Let me know, dude.
We'll never really know.
This.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna try to find out though. Hopefully.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, if you're willing to tell us, like, let me know, and I'll slyly tell Pat we won't broadcast it or anything, man. I promise you on that. So
off air, off the record, bro, you'll be fine.
Yeah, off the record, dude. Yeah, bro. So that's kind of the last trade that I had, man. One of them actually just happened today. So got through a few, and I'm sure it starts picking up now that it's April. There's gonna be a lot more people online, a lot more people in Dynasty kind of jumping on and wanting to get some action going before the NFL draft. Like your point, like wanting to get some draft picks. I mean, I'm even looking at it too. Like there's a couple leagues where I've got 3 or 4 quarterbacks, and I've got like a Will Levis. Well, Will Levis is starting this year. They're not, didn't make a move to sign anybody. They let Tannehill go, so they're going to give him this year. So I'm trying to be like, hey, I'll give you Will Levis or another quarterback for some type of draft pick to take a roll of the dice and see what I could get. So
for sure,
hopefully we can get a lot more action over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
are you trying to make any more moves?
I'm always up for moves, bro. My door is never closed. It says welcome, open for anything and anyone.
Come rob me.
Dude, I'm in, bro. Like wheel and deal, bro. Makes it interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And let's get that league started, bro. I'm ready to get another one. Let's do this, man.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll try to get that league. I said I was gonna do it last week, but the holiday got a little out of control for me. Cool. So this week, I'll definitely try to get it set up. And then I'll start pinging people to see if they want to invite or if they know anybody wants to invite. I want to get different people in that are in different people from the leagues that we're in currently.
Or for sure. So or any randoms that want, if they subscribe, like, and comment your name.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Comment below, like, subscribe.
See what you got.
We've got 21 subscribers. I told Pat I want to get to 25 by the end of this week. And then by the end of next week, I want to get to 30, which is not that much. I mean, it's not that much. So if you're listening, just hit the subscribe, man. Hit the subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel, trying to make it a little bit bigger. We'll do more content as, this is kind of the dead part of the season. There's really, except for random news that pops up, there's people doing mock drafts and stuff like that. We might do one of those. We want to get James on. He's busy this whole entire week, but we'll get him on next week. We want to do kind of a startup theory and how people do startup dynasty. Once we get ours kicking off, we can start talking about the picks that we made, draft, like if we started doing trades and all that other stuff. So we'll have some more content. Oh, and Pat's showing, we made some Funko Pops. So we've got our own, you can customize Funko Pops If you go to FunkoPop.com, they allow you to customize. So I customized one for Pat, one for me. We're both holding microphones and headsets. And then I've got on, turn it to the side. Yeah, so I've got on a flannel shirt and jeans. I'm always wearing jeans and some kicks. And then you've got Pat. Pat's got his man bun.
Yeah, man.
His man bun, his beard. He's got his mic, and he's decked out in all black. So, so Elite Fantasy Pat, Elite Fantasy Matt. If anybody wants one, hit us up and we'll
face off.
Yeah, we'll face off. So yeah, but you got anything else, man? Dude. I love how you shut it off, dude. We'll have to figure out a way where we can make them part of their intro. Maybe that'll be.
I'm in construction behind me. Don't worry about it. I promise you, Jamar will not have any plastic around his frame eventually.
Yeah, you gotta take that off, man. But if anybody's out there that actually knows how to do any video editing and can create video, I'd love to do a video editing with our Funko Pops. I'll commission you to do that. We'll do our little intro. Will be the Funko Pops, which I think will be funny as hell. So Funko Pops, if you want to sponsor us too, let us know. We're down with that. So all right. Dude, hit the like, hit the subscribe, pass this on to your friends. Please rate us 5-star review. Do all that, all 9, please. And until next time, peace. We're out.